Bro, aku meh anu bro, rekaman bro.
Hello guys.
Hello.
Halo guys.
Hello.
You all do fasting, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Insyaallah.
I hope you guys don't have an intention of breaking your fast in the middle of the day because today is so hot in here. So and I have an issue, and I think this is so relatable to our major in agricultural science. Do you want to hear that?
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
So, so listen to me. Apparently, there will be a billion people who will go hungry tonight. And now, in the United States, there are 5 billion bushels of corn that will turn into ethanol, and that is enough food to feed 400 million people for the entire year. Due to this issue, I'm looking out for opinion. Which one is better, food or fuel? Perhaps Putri can explain her opinion first. Putri, are you there?
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, it's my turn to express and telling my opinion about this discussion. The first thing that we know and we have to discuss and the food and fuel and having an important role in this coordination and fulfillment of human needs. For the example, in everyday life, we have the strong relation with the food and fuel in everyday life. We know that if one of them or both of them have less or goes down, it will make we know the price and make it increase and make it difficult for some people, especially for a farmer, to fulfill their needs. We know that as an agriculture student, we giving our best to effort of to optimize the agriculture management. And yes, the agricultural management is we can improve from the facility. The facility is like a transportation or tractor, and it needs a fuel. Yes, and when we increase the fuel for directly, we have the impact. The impact it makes a distributor or customer or the farmers who have to pay more to delivery service to market to sell, and it conclude that it makes a high price and for customer who come to directly to buy crops, and it means and conclude that the food crop buyers will also affected of harm farmer to business. Therefore, it can be concluded there two are so related. To more full oil increases, the more difficult is for food to be fulfilled. Um, for the solution, we can say that we can use corn as a fuel to acceptance to efforts, and maybe from here it can be continued by Elia to explain it more detail about the use of corn for fuel. Elia, are you here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We know currently fossil fuels are running low. Moreover, the negative impact of fossil fuels on the environment is of concern of too many people. For this reason, environmentally friendly fuels are developed. One of them is from food crops such as corn. Because of this problem, there is debate about the priority of food or fuel. In the countries that have high food security or have a surplus yield, food fulfillment and development of environmentally friendly fuels can be carried out simultaneously. But how about countries with low food security? If there is insufficient food, the development of environmentally friendly fuels from the food crop can be achieved. We must increase the food security is achieved and the surplus can be used to develop environmentally friendly fuel first. And the solution of scarcity of fossil fuels and environmentally damaged due to the use of fossil fuels, and the environmental can be overcome by developing environmentally friendly fuels that have especially main food crops such as corn. We can develop environmentally friendly fuels from animal waste into biogas, jatropha, and other sources. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I agree with Elia. We can use another biofuels because Prevent Kumar, a professor from University of Illinois, calculate and compare the economic as well as environmental aspect of using corn as a biofuel. The goal is to see whether the benefit of corn as a biofuel outweigh the cost. Their research show that the social and economic value of producing corn for food in the United States is $1,492 per hectare, while that of biofuel production is only $10 per hectare. This means, based on this research, production corn as food is far more profitable economically as well as the environment. Since fossil fuel research around the world are developing rapidly, renewable and unconventional energy sources are urgent to explore to ensure the world is not threatened to by energy vacuum. One of the microalgae that has great potential is sea vulgaris. Microalgae are potential source of alternative fuels to substitute fossil fuels for two reasons. First, their rapid growth rate will ensure continuous availability. Second, their ability to absorb large amount of carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis. One of the microalgae species that has been proposed as an excellent candidate for biofuel feedstock is Nanochloropsis aculeata. Thank you, guys.
I think I'm agree with the opinion from Elia and Rinanda because currently in this pandemic era, food is one of the crucial problems facing urban people around the world, especially in Indonesia, which is most of the city are not properly designed to provide sustainable food for large. Furthermore, in the COVID-19 pandemic, in this area has aggravated food security. Food insecurity and restrict food accessibility. And then the problem of food production and supply chains have an impact on food security in this area and could lead to national hunger. Therefore, I think it is important to develop the food production then follows. That's for me. Thank you.
I'm also agree with you guys. We know that corn is a source of carbohydrates that almost everyone consumes. Corn is also used in several products, such as for food, medicine, or others. However, recently the price of corn has increased. The reason is not that farmers are experiencing a bad season, but because the oil company has switched the corn industry to the manufacture of ethanol fuel. Ethanol fuel is better because it is a new renewable resource made from plants and depends on corn. Ethanol becomes a cleaner combustion fuel. Ethanol's fuel also contains oxygen, which when added to gasoline helps the fuel burn more completely, thereby reducing the number of pollutants produced from smoke. Apart from this advantage, this ingredient has another effect, that is the availability of corn itself. The production of this resource is limited by the availability of land, which is also used for food production. If all the vehicles use ethanol fuel made from corn, How much land will it take to plant all the corn? It also has an impact on the dramatic increase in corn prices. This corn ethanol, apart from requiring significant land use to grow enough maize crops to produce the fuel, also emits greenhouse gases. We know that corn is not only used as a food source, but also as animal feed. The increase in maize prices also has an impact on farmers and other livestock. Ethanol fuel can be made using a wide variety of crops, not just corn. Utilization of leaves or grasses as ethanol fuel will be an alternative use of corn, so that the availability of corn can be fulfilled for food security. That's all for me, guys.
It's okay. Overall, I disagree. I agree with your opinion, guys. Uh, Apart from being a source of carbohydrates, corn is also an important source of protein in people's diet in Indonesia. Corn is rich in functional food components, including dietary fiber needed by the body, essential fatty acid, isoflavones, mineral, calcium, magnesium, kalium, natrium, phosphor, and ferrum, anthocyanin, beta-carotene, or provitamin E, essential amino acid composition, and others. Nowadays, functional food is starting to develop, along with the increasing demand for functional food and public awareness of health. The increasing number of people with degenerative diseases and the elderly population, the development of commercial product, scientific evidence of the benefits of functional food component, and the development of food technology. Corn as a food ingredient will increasingly attract consumers, especially those who are concerned with healthy food at affordable price for all groups. Using corn as fuel source appears to be an easy pathway to renewable energy. However, several studies have shown that the environmental costs are much greater and the benefits less than using corn for food. In Indonesia, if you want to make corn as a raw material for biofuel, then must be pushed again because the government has closed the import tab. Making corn as a raw material for biofuel means that it will increase the demand and need for corn. For animal feed alone, Indonesia needs around 8.5 million tons of maize this year. Fortunately, domestic production is still being met, so that corn is better to use as food than renewable technology fuel because renew the renewable technology has to be truly profitable. It's enough for me.
Okay, so most of you decide to choose food over fuel, right? But for me, actually, I cannot decide which one is better for the future. Is it food or fuel? However, after reading several references, I will prefer in fuel. Although food is also important and cannot separate for human life, fuel is also very much needed in this era. We cannot deny the various conveniences we get from the existence of machines and vehicles that literally require fuel, which is very helpful in agriculture to producing food. And I do agree with Elia that we must increase crop yields until food security is achieved and the surplus can be used to develop environmentally friendly fuel first. But why don't we have both? Because there are multifunctional agricultural production systems already exist in many countries. So this system is mutually beneficial and can produce food and non-food products in a sustainable and socially balanced manner. Plants that can be used as biofuels, such as maize or corns, can trigger new investment in agriculture, such as increasing agricultural diversification and can be used to prevent soil degradation so that they can support increased food production. And the point that I want to show you is if we choose fuel, then we will also be able to get benefits to increasing food. Just let's say that we will get two things in one thing that we do. And I think when we choose food, it is not necessarily that we can get uh, benefits in terms of fuel. And biofuels has social, economic, and environmental benefits more than the potential negative impacts if good management practices are implemented. That's the reason I choose fuel over food. Maybe you have other perspective. That's all, guys.
Okay. Okay. I will talk about my opinion to about the using corn as fuel. Okay, spikes in oil prices and now global efforts to stave off the worst effect of climate change have lent new urgency to the search for clean, renewable fuel. Our road travel, flight, and shipping account for nearly a quarter of the world greenhouse gas emission, and transportation, the DA, remains heavily depends on fossil fuel. As we know that ethanol was made by fermenting the sugar from plants such as corn or sugarcane. Ethanol contains oxygen that helps a car's engine burn fuel more efficiently, reducing air pollution. In the US or the United States, engine burn fuel more efficiently, reducing air pollution, where the most ethanol is derived from corn and fuel is typically 90% gasoline and 10% ethanol. Renewable diesel, a chemically different product that can be derived from fats or plant-based waste, are considered a drop-in fuel that does not need to be blended with conventional diesel. Biodiesel can be blended with petroleum-based diesel. The using of renewable diesel can avoid the negative impact from the fossil diesel. Let's say the emission from the fossil diesel. When the fossil diesel burn, they produce carbon dioxide and are the largest driver of global climate change. They are also a major contributor to local air pollution, which is estimated to link to millions of premature deaths each year. The using of fossil fuel that has been increased every year, that makes the availability of the fossil fuel has decreased. Some research say that the availability of the fossil fuel is not longer about 50 or 60 years from now. So before we running out the fossil fuel that can affect every aspect of life and everything that we do in every day, we should invent and use the renewable fuel. Maybe that's from me.
Okay. Uh, okay, I'm agree with Syafi'i and Saadatul. We know that corn as a staple food can also be used as biofuel by convert in ethanol. Corn is staple food in several countries. There is Indonesia, the United States, Africa, and Europe. Uh, the many nutrients in the corn good for good to body, but corn is biofuel becomes an alternative to replacing fossil fuels because fossil fuels have an impact on the global warming, so that using biofuel will have an impact on protecting the environment. So I choose corn as the biofuel in condition that corn improved production and did import, that the impact can reduce production costs. With low production costs, it's easier for society to switch using biofuel. In addition, biofuel can be used in agriculture as a technology fuel. Example, use tractor. So not only environmentally friendly, but can also increase agriculture production. That's all guys for me.
Okay.
Okay.
So guys, based on our discussion, the priority between food or fuels can be decided clearly because both of them are needed in human life and have disadvantage and advantage. They are inseparable. Food affect food security while fuel affect renewable energy for future technology. Although although food are essential for human, but to produce the food and reach food security, we need a fuels.
So this is our final discussion, guys. I really feel happy knowing that there are people who choose food and people who choose fuel. Makes sure me that both sides have their own character. It is fun to know the reason. And thank you, guys. You are great. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody.
Thank you, guys.